after the Lions draft, you now get a sense, a full range of reactions from the fans that love the draft, that understand that they support the team, and they see a lot of the silver linings, the positivity about a lot of the picks. No problems there. There's a lot of good things to talk about, but still, there's still across the league, and I think it has largely similarly due to those that critique the Lions. They still haven't won a Super Bowl, and many people wonder, okay, what happened in 24 outside of the injuries? And people are wondering, okay, in 2023, 2024, the Lions had a prime opportunity to make some noise and have success. I think 24, you can clearly see the impact of the injuries, but a lot of the math analysts, a lot of draft pundits, I don't typically fall in that category in regards to draft value. I just look at, could you have drafted a better player, a more ready player for your football team? But the Lions earned an F based on value, and it's really interesting. Perceived reaching for a lot of spots because of the fact that Brad Holmes gave up multiple third-round picks for Isaac Tesla, the fact that he moved up a couple times in this draft. What do you make of the heavy criticism? I was shocked that, yeah, I could expect a B minus C in some areas. I was shocked to see the Lions get an F grade by a draft analyst.
Yeah, I think it's all pretty subjective at this stage. I think the tough part that even we have when it comes to evaluating different draft classes is just the fact that it's all relative to our own opinion, right? Like we all have our own ideals for where we want the Lions to go, and let's face it, Brad Holmes doesn't really care what any of us think in terms of what they're going to do in the draft. They've always kind of done it their way, and we've seen it work out with guys like Jameer Gibbs. I mean, we were all stunned when they took Jameer Gibbs 12th overall. He's turned out to be one of the best running backs in the league 2 years into his career. You look a little bit further down the line, Jack Campbell is another one of the guys who are like, wow, here comes a linebacker in the first round, 18th overall, and he's turned out to be pretty good as well. So I think what Holmes has done to this point in his career as general manager has worked, and so for that, he deserves a little bit of the benefit of the doubt for some of these moves that he's made. Yes, when you look at the big boards, Isaac Tesla is a 4th to 5th round projection. The Lions trade up 30 spots in the 3rd round to go get him. That's a little bit of a shocker, but evidently they have a plan for him. And I think some of it goes back to the fact that maybe they just didn't feel great about this year's draft class. So we'll have to see it play out. But as far as my reaction to seeing them get an F, when you look at the criteria they did it upon, it was all based on the consensus big board and where these players were selected. And so, yeah, like the Lions are down there in terms of overall value with their selections and where these guys are at on the big board. So, yes, some of their picks have been labeled a reach. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't go as far as to say so myself, but so they did make some out of the box moves in this year's draft. And so, yeah, they're going to catch a little bit of flack for it. But I think that with Holmes' success in the draft, he does deserve a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Now, I will say before we move on, if these picks don't pan out, he's going to quickly lose that benefit of the doubt just as fast as he earned it. So this is a huge draft class for him because of how they handled it. They did make these out of the box moves, and now there's going to be some scrutiny on him if these picks don't work out.
Yeah, and I think here's the thing is that the Lions in their evaluation are willing to take guys that still need some more development in certain spots. Now, all players have strengths and weaknesses, and I think with Tesla, people still think that he's got work to do in his route running and his ability to break free from the line of scrimmage and coverage. So there's some things that people say, okay, they look at it and they look at other players. For example, people are looking and they say, okay, one of the questions most notably asked is, okay, if you didn't take Tesla, who could you have taken? Potentially, Elik Eyomenor from Stanford was there. And many people say, okay, yeah, comparatively, Alec may have been a player more ready to start now and maybe even a better player that could come in sooner that maybe you didn't need to trade up for. And that's the tough part is that, there is a lot of subjective nature in regards to, hey, could a player have been there? But what the Lions do is they find guys that they like and they say, we want this player, and they're aggressive.